Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Leadership Corner, where we take the time to speak with Florida Realtors Leadership Academy alumni. I'm your host, Stas Matias, class of 2020, and here with me today we have Tiea Vincent. Hey, Tiea, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good, good. Thanks for coming on. So a little bit about Tiea. She's been in the business for a little over 17 years. She is a broker owner at Roundtable Property Management, and she services Duval, St. Johns, and Clay counties. She is a member of the Northeast Florida Association of Realtors, and she is part of class 2020. So thanks, Tiea, for being on. We got to know each other this year during Leadership Academy, the pandemic class. But I want everybody to get to know you a little bit. So, wanted to dive in and say, what are you currently involved in the 2020 year?
Oh, my 2020 year turned out to be kind of full, kind of packed. Some of it by purpose, some of it by accident. So I am on the local board, on the board of directors. It's a 3-year term, so I'm a little bit halfway through that term. And I'm also the Community Affairs Task Force Chair in Jacksonville for the board, which gives me the pleasure to be able to use the power of all of our members to give back to our community. So we do things like hunger fight and build wheelchair ramps and things like that.
That's awesome.
And I'm the 2020 Women's Council of Realtors Jacksonville president, which my year has turned out to be kind of crazy, which most people are used to with this whole COVID thing. I had great big high hopes, and we're still working on some of them, but COVID put us a damper. And then I was supposed to be the 2021 president of the NARPM Florida State chapter. And unfortunately, the 2020 president had some family stuff that came up and couldn't take that position. So I wound up taking on an extra presidency this year that I wasn't expecting. But COVID happened, so it hasn't been too much for me to handle.
Gotcha. That's awesome. Well, speaking of local, what's next for you? Are you looking to take your leadership skills to the next level over at your local association?
Yeah, I've been thinking about it for a while. It was something that was in my path for the last couple of years, but I kind of wanted to get my feel out of all the different committees and how they worked in the association. And I have decided that 2021 hopefully is going to be my year, and I am making a run officially. I'm announcing it officially, making a run for secretary. I haven't announced it on Facebook or anything yet, but I probably should here soon since I just said it.
Oh, is this the announcement right here?
Announcement.
Okay, official announcement.
Officially running for the board for secretary of our local association.
That is awesome. Awesome.
It works out perfectly for me. I could have run before now, but with all the other hats that I was wearing, I'm the type of person that I don't do anything halfway. If I can't give you 100%, then I shouldn't be doing it. And so running before now just didn't make sense because I was spread too thin.
I got to put you on the spot. So why do you want the position? Why should you be in that position?
Our association is like put together with a deep sense of tradition, and we have a lot of old guard. I respect every single one of them. I consider them all friends. But if anything has shown us that we have to start moving in a forward direction, and the same old same isn't going to keep going, it's COVID. COVID pushed us into the future, kicking and screaming whether we wanted to or not. And so I'm hoping to be a part of whatever that looks like. So everyone wants to say, well, what kind of change are you going to give us? Nobody can tell the future and what the change is going to look like, but all I know is I want to be a part of that change. I want to be a part of shaping the future, and that's one of the reasons why I'm running.
That's awesome. Yeah, I know we all touched on it a little bit. It's kind of hard because I kind of know some of your the motivation behind certain things through our class participation and interaction. But I just want everybody to get a feel for why you decide to apply for Florida Realtors leadership.
You know what? So I did our local leadership academy, and interesting enough, they're totally different. I don't know what I was expecting when I applied. Actually, last year at our district caucus, our DVP at the time said, not only do we not have anyone from our district in the Leadership Academy this year, we didn't even have anyone apply. And I was like, well, I'm going to make sure that we're at least represented. So it was my way of representing my local district and putting my name in the hat, and it worked out for me. And now that I've seen the way Florida Realtors does it, or I'm almost an alumni. Now that I've seen it, now I have all these ideas of what to bring back to our local association. Not that they're doing it wrong, but there's some pieces, some little nuggets inside this class that I want to take back and really put into place.
Yeah, I mean, you just like read my mind there. I'm ad-libbing some of these questions here. Yeah, there's a lot of things that I feel like we've learned. The culture at Florida Realtors is very contagious, and I remember us sitting around together after hours, just discussing topics of how we can help realtors, how we can come up with new and different things to help newer agents, things of that nature. And so I could really see the benefit of your board having you. You would be a complete asset all day.
Absolutely. And you just hit on another one of the reasons why I'm looking at running, and that is, I hate saying it like this because people always take it the wrong way, but the truth is a large majority of our membership are getting dangerously close to wanting to retire. And we've got iBuyers coming in, all of these big firms coming in. And so and I'm going to say younger, but take younger as the word newer. Young may not necessarily mean that they're in their 20s. I met a guy just the other day who was, this was his third career, but he'd only been doing it for 6 months. If we're not focusing on those newer, younger agents and giving them the tools and the education to be able to, be successful in this career, but not only just be successful, but when they go up against those iBuyers and they're putting out commercials that are saying, you don't need a realtor, come to us, come to us. We need to set them up where they can say, you do need a realtor. This is why, and this is my value and why you want to pay me a commission to do this. So I think that the board needs to move into that kind of direction on education, building those skill sets, building that toolkit for them. And so that's one of the things that I'm kind of pushing as well.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome. So, I mean, I don't want to dive too much into the local board if you don't want to, but do you have stiff competition running for treasurer?
I actually do have stiff competition, believe it or not. So the thing with these local boards, in order to get into these positions, you have to have been on the directors at some point. So we're all friends, right? We've all served with each other over the last couple of years. So in my head, when I was thinking about running, I don't know why I was thinking maybe I won't know the person, because of course I'm going to know the person. He's a great guy, fully qualified. You're not going to get an application for a position like this unless you're qualified, fully qualified and capable. For me, this is just where my journey has led me. This is where my path was taking me. Like I said, I could have applied before now, but I would have been doing them injustice by spreading myself too thin. So for me, this is just where it took me. It is unfortunate that we know each other, but I hope that we can come out the other end pretty well off with each other. I tell people a resume doesn't make a person. It doesn't necessarily tell you what kind of leader that person's going to be. Everybody has their own management and leadership styles, and mine and his are totally different. And so it's just going to come down to which leadership style works best for the position.
Right. And you know what? At the end of the day, I don't know the gentleman, but I'm pretty sure if he's trying to run for this position, just like you, that you guys have the realtors and your board at heart. They're your first thought process. So I'm pretty sure that you both are running to put yourselves in a good position for them. And I'm sure it'll work out great. Also, I know that we went through our local leadership academy to get our feet dipped into, whether we want to join committees, whether we want to move forward. And so you took the next step by going to the state leadership academy, Florida Realtors.
I fought tooth and nail to not join the local. And I don't know why, in my head, I've been doing this leadership thing, this volunteer servant thing for about 10 years. And when the local board was like, you should do our leadership academy, I was like, why would I do that? I'm already doing this, I'm already doing that. But you know, someone said earlier, like, when you're trying to become successful, you're focusing on yourself and then you focus on others. When you're trying to become successful, it's about you. Once you become successful, it's about bringing up others behind you. I just saw that post the other day, so it popped in my head. But when I was saying no to Leadership Academy, it was because, look at me, I'm already doing these things. Now that I've been doing them, I said yes to Leadership Academy because all I could think was, how can I tell the members, the 9,500 members we have, how can I tell them that I want to lead them and tell them they should get involved if I haven't done it myself? So I went to it so that I can now say to someone else, this is an amazing program and you should get involved.
Pretty much.
That's what you preach kind of thing.
Yeah. And I was going to say, you're just leading by example. Leading by example, you've been there, you've done that. And it's obviously you have a lot to share with 17 years of experience. You're a very successful broker. I know I've had the pleasure of sitting down and getting a little coaching session with you.
I think our first meeting was something similar to this, around some Starbucks and comparing what we had just got at the RPAC auction. So
yeah, not to mention you are a major investor with RPAC. Thank you so much for investing. We appreciate it.
I over major invested this year by accident. I was trying to help someone else major invest and I got caught. But I am a major investor. I have been for several years, and I don't see an end to that anytime soon. I really believe in RPAC and what RPAC does for our members. A lot of our members have no idea what it does, and so I enjoy telling them because a lot of times you see the aha moment of like, I had no idea, because it's not necessarily what RPAC has shown you, but it's the things that they stopped that you didn't know existed. You know, the things that were going to hurt you, but you never knew about them because they stopped it. So I'll probably always be an investor in RPAC, and anyone that I can bring in behind me, I'm going to drag them and their bank account, just drag them with me. A couple of people, I said, you don't know what to do, just give me your credit card and I'll take care of it. It'll be okay.
One thing I wanted to dive into or just pick your brain on, as a leader, as a broker owner of your own business, during these hard times with COVID and everything, a lot of people had to reshape their business model, the direction, how they're going to embrace this pandemic, how are they going to service their clients. Can you just share something small that you did to keep your business afloat and keep it running?
You know, so my brokerage is fairly new. We've only been open about 3.5 years. And the upside for me was when I opened the doors, I said, I got to do this the right way. And so I really already had most of the stuff in place to be able to do virtually. You know, I have the software, my people can pay rent, they can request maintenance online, they can sign leases online. So almost everything is virtual for me. Now, that being said, we do interior inspections on our homes every 6 months to keep an eye on them. My inspector is a good friend of mine. He's a realtor and he's been in the business longer than me. And he is a lung cancer survivor. He's a little bit older and he's a lung cancer survivor, only has half, like they took out half a lung. So if anyone was at risk, it's him. And so we did put a halt on occupied inspections. And I then brought on a new whippersnapper that's just getting into the business. And he's like, you know, hey, I can handle the occupied. I'm in good shape. I'm young, just in case. And so we brought him in, trained him up. So now we've split the city and we've got 2 people on the road. One's handling occupied, one's handling the vacant ones. But that was really, for me, the biggest change that we made, just because, I mean, I could go on a cruise ship right now and still be able to run my business and not blink an eye, you know?
That's awesome. Yeah, I was in a similar boat where all my properties, it doesn't matter what my listings were or price point, I've always had a 3D virtual tour. I've had video tours. And so instead of agents having to say, oh, I got to do a Skype or FaceTime with my client, I say, hey, here's some unbranded video or virtual tours so you can share with them. I really felt like that was very helpful and helped me to still close deals, even though people weren't able to show property or people were on lockdown.
I mean, we have the virtual tours. We don't necessarily do Matterports on rentals. It's not really cost effective for us, but we have the 360 virtual tours where they can kind of look up and down and around. And then something that rentals do that sales probably don't do or probably shouldn't do is we're able to do showings without agents. So we have like self-showing lock boxes where the person can register and they take their credit card information for damages and they take all that and they're able to register a time, it gives them a lockbox code one time. They go in and see it. It registers when they lock it. It asks them questionnaire. Did you like it? Do you want to apply? If they say yes, it automatically sends them an application. So there's been times where I've gone to bed and woke up in the morning with an approved application and didn't do anything to get it there. So that's something that we have the benefit. We don't use it on occupied houses. Obviously, we don't need people walking around people's living rooms. But the vacant houses that we don't have to worry about, we use that as much as possible.
That's awesome. Awesome. Was there anything additional you want to share that I haven't asked you?
Other than the 2020 class is the best ever. I mean,
Best ever.
Best ever.
Best class this decade, for sure.
If someone gets us a t-shirt with the 2020 toilet paper, I'm not wearing it.
I'm not wearing it.
I'm not wearing the 2020 toilet paper.
Well, Tiea, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us here on the Leadership Corner. Best of luck with your running for secretary. Your board is, they're so lucky to have you, for sure.
You.
All right. Well, that about does it, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next one.